This is it. A theory I had nearly 2 years ago to see if there was a way to skip the final segment of Zerg's Fortress, the level which had stayed mainly free from any major skips. Hello, it's me, Exotic, and I have been speedrunning and glitch hunting Toy Story 3 the video game for well over a year to see how fast one could beat the game from beginning to end. If you have not seen a run of this game, the game is packed with tricks and bugs which runners can use to achieve unimaginable times. However, despite this, there has always been that one level that stood out to me and the community. To infinity and beyond. This level stood out to us because it was the only open level which doesn't have a major skip. Understandably, stages like Locomotive do not have any major skips since you are going in a straight line for most of the level. But even then, there are a handful of little tricks which end up saving a lot of time when added together. Which way out attempts for the player to go along the walls and do a lot of tedious platforming. But the community has figured out a way to skip all of that by simply doing infinite wall jumps which completely destroy this level. Minutes are saved off these levels, and that is what fits the theme for this speedrun. Except for one level. To Infinity and Beyond is the level which does not fit the theme, and is by far the longest level in the entire game. By the way, this is still Toy Story 3, just wanted to clarify that fact. This level has 3 segments: the auto-scroll flying section, the raining meteors, and Zerg's Fortress. In the first part, the flying segment is an auto-scroller and AR movement is completely restricted, so it makes sense that there is a good chance there will be very few exploits here to pull off. When Buzz lands on safe ground to look for Zerg's Fortress comes the meteor shower segment. Because this is mostly open air platforming area, it makes sense why there will be no out of bounds areas, and this is evident since the only major skip is right at the end. You know, infinite wall jumping off this invisible cylinder, I guess, to bypass Zerg's state-of-the-art security system. Looking at the map, you can see there are no real weak points in this level, i.e. the level is mostly a straight line similar to Train Rescue, although there is a warp point to play around with right before the big meteor. Finally, we reach Zerg's Fortress. When I first started to learn this game, I was surprised that there were not any skips in the fortress. Unlike all the other segments, Zerg's Fortress is filled with many warp zones and curvy hallways which seems to take you around in one general area. Unfortunately, this is not true. Looking at this map, you can see the majority of warp zones are tightly packed together in one zone. Zerg's Fortress has 3 zones. Zone 1 is the starting spike hallway, and falling down into the pit after the crystal takes you to Zone 2. Zone 2 ends when you destroy these crystals, then you are transported to Zone 3, which for the most part is a harder version of Zone 2. Based on the level layout, it seems it would be better to try to skip Zone 2, but there is no known way to do that because it's simply too far from Zone 1, and doing the skip within the zone itself would likely not save that much time, even if you activate a warp zone out of order. But we never know. After hours of searching for any potential areas, my attention focused on the end of the level. This area caught my attention because we were on a higher platform than the Zerg boss platform, and my theory was to simply land on this platform by using Bug's hover ability, which is enabled for this entire level, as well as his red laser. This trick all takes place in Zone 3, but in this case it could be well worth it because you bypass a decently long fight. When I was strat hunting this level, I found a way to get on top both spiky platforms, which made this trick seamlessly possible, and then started to put in attempts during my trials. I came amazingly close to the Zerg boss platform, and from earlier testing, I knew that the boss fight activates once you touch the ground. After many attempts, I did not make it, but came super close and the video was published. So this is how I attempted to get onto the Zerg platform. So this is the catwalk right after the laser segment with the ledge platforms, or whatever they're called. So first I reach the end of this catwalk, but instead of ground pounding into the vent right there, I decided to use infinite wall jumping. Now you can't infinite wall jump off all the walls here, you can only do it on this back wall for whatever reason. But you see what's below it? You see one of those spiky tube things right below it. And that is the key to getting further into the actual level and getting closer to the Zerg platform. So once I make it over the catwalk ledge there, I'm on the tube. Once I'm on the tube, I go have to jump over this spiky trap thing because the spike platform or the spike, whatever it's called, the I guess the belt, does kill bugs when you land on top of the platform. So you have to make sure to jump over that. After that, I come as close as I can to the ledge. Please note that the color platforms right past this tube does extend all the way over to where I'm standing right now. So if you get closer, the death barriers kill you. So that's why I have to be like on this ledge right here. After that, I'm going to jump, ground pound, so I can actually do another double jump, and then go glide over past the first wall to get to the to this void, and then I would eventually pass another wall. And then just come up short. If this trick was to work, winners would be able to skip the spiky tube, the color platforms, the robot fight, and the glide down to Zerg himself, possibly saving over a minute. Shortly after the release, runners took action and were able to get even closer but not close enough. Roughly 1 year later, it was discovered that there is a solid wall that surrounds the Zerg platform. If you remember anything speedrunning related to this game, infinite wall jumping can be used to skill up walls, and that was done to finally reach the Zerg platform and to complete this theory. Yes, the laser was disabled. In certain parts of this level, the laser is disabled to probably prevent the player from viewing things that he's not supposed to see, thus making this skip pretty much useless since the laser is required to beat the boss, which then would unlock the next level. For this to be useful, there will have to be a way to enable the laser, which normally enables itself after the spiky tube, or find a way to take out Zerg without the laser. So after all of that, this theory has been technically solved but ended up failing because the laser was disabled. Now there is another theory going around that another runner has been experimenting with by using the crusher to launch yourself way up. It could make it possible to glide straight to Zone 3 from Zone 1, but all attempts so far ended up failing. Zerg's Fortress is a hard level to bust because of the level layout, restricted camera angles, non-jumpable walls, and the entire stage mostly being on one y-axis. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this follow-up. Now this is raw footage of the theory working in quotes, and I would strongly recommend checking out Rimo Swag's video, which gives more insight on this theory and many others that could potentially break to infinity and beyond. Here's the raw footage.